Damn, Q. Maybe you did that.
We ready.
All right, cool.
We on. We live.
Hey, well, I'm just happy to be back again.
No, for sure.
My name's Dre Clemens. I'm a designer, entrepreneur, and inventor.
For sure.
Also professor, too.
Yeah. Don't forget about that, dog.
And don't forget about my music, too. Long history of music,
Right, we got to the
Most
music.
Wanted, Houdini, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
He got a lot of shit going on, and he might not even mention it, but I just want to throw it out there. He also. Which one do I want to talk about? Do I want to talk about NASA, or do we want to talk about the stealth bomber? Let's talk about the stealth bomber.
Stealth bomber, man. I just love that project.
But he was a part of designing the stealth bomber, dog. How crazy?
Man,
This nigga from the West Side. I mean, like, the nigga from Detroit. Like, it's crazy. Like,
Look, I was trying to come up with something just in case people in the city start tripping. So I wanted to, because that's what I tell them. You don't know when you get hit by a bomb. By the time it hit you, it's too late.
That's for sure, man.
So you got a sneak attack on them. So the stealth bomber was good because what they brought me down there for was all about form development, right? Like, so how did they create a fighter plane that was a bomber that was so smooth that it couldn't be detected by radars.
Right.
So you have to know a certain level of geometry, mathematics, and aesthetic combined together.
A bunch of shit that I don't know.
And at the time, not many computers or technologies actually knew how to do it, so you have to actually be able to see it.
Right.
You actually have to be able to discern like when it changes. It's like the easy way I can explain it to you is like, you know how when you go to a grocery store or something like that, you parked in this, and they got your hot car in this small little parking space.
Right, yeah, for sure.
Right? When you're taking your ride, right? But you go to the store like Walmart or something, and you come out, and your car's laid down, but you're like, oh shit, somebody dinged my door. Right? You thinking somebody dinged your car.
Exactly.
By the time, then when you get up to it, what's the first thing you do? You like, that's straight Detroit shit right there.
Yeah, it is.
Right? So you're gonna test and see, is it really
fucked up?
or is it just dirt? Right?
Yeah.
So it's amazing what the eye can see that far away, right? So if you can see a speck of dust, which is like microns or thousandths of a millimeter, then that's enough to send a signal back to a satellite or object detection system.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So I had to show them how they can be within certain tolerances from patch to patch, geometry to geometry, and create the forms like that.
Damn. Hey, look, that's how I was looking.
Too technical, but you know what I mean. But that's my
That's
thing.
how I was looking. Nah, for sure.
Yeah.
But how crazy is that though, right? Because like at this time you're doing music.
Oh yeah.
So then like you go out there to do that, and then like tell them about how you even came up with the concept for the lemon bottle, or even why it came up.
Oh well, it came up because there was a couple of things happening at the time. It was owned by Cadbury Sweats and Mott's, and I had been doing some work for Constar, which was a division of Crown Cork and Seal.
Gotcha.
So I was doing some work with them on like Ragu and Welch's Grape bottles and stuff like that. And they had also got wind of my early insight into the development of the Heineken K-Can, the beer can, which I don't know if I even mentioned that last time we was talking, but that was one of the first ones. So they contacted me about what their vision was, but also there was going to be a new acquisition, which was Dr. Keurig and Dr. Pepper. Basically that there was going to be, and they needed a whole new identity because people were stealing their market through knockoffs.
Right.
So they were being knocked off. So they wanted a more difficult bottle to knock off. They wanted something that when you saw it, they speak quality. They wanted something that was attractive.
Right.
And they also wanted something. The reason that the bottle is shrink wrapped is because when you sit the lemon juice, and you guys notice if you sit it down there long enough, the heavier contents will seep to the bottle.
Right.
And the researchers said that made the product more unattractive.
Right.
When people open their refrigerator or the bartenders went to the thing, they usually shake it up. And so they didn't want to see that either. Right. So for me, that was some of the criteria early, and then it was about how can I make it sexy?
Right. No, for sure.
You know.
Right. I know. We talked about before. He may or may not have modeled the bottle off of a young lady. The one that he may or may not have modeled off of, he never divulged her name. So
I can tell you that. I'm gonna take it to my grave right there. You know, but for real, I mean, you know, like the bottle itself. Those were things that I wanted people to feel the contents and get the feeling of what was in it, and also make it so that it can be held a certain kind of way, handled a certain kind of way. That's why if you look at the Lemon floating, it's its own silhouette, and then the bottle has hips. Now those hips that people ask me about, those are actually functioning vacuum panels for the bottle, so that the bottle holds its shape under stress.
Oh shit, I really didn't know that. Now the lemon is important because we use a lot of that in mixing with our liquor. So that's why that was important to me. Now, of course, the other stuff is important too, like stealth bombers and NASA shit, which he wouldn't ask no questions. He wouldn't ask no questions about UFOs, but I know he knows some shit. He just won't say.
But the design, I mean, I get people that are in the spirits business have always called me for years. People that are in the packaging business called me for years because back in 2003, it was on the packaging book. It means it's package of the year. It was on the cover. And so people that are in the industry, they're so intimate with that particular product that I get calls all the time from all kinds of spirits companies that think that I'm actually the one shipping it out, or they think they want to just know about the story behind it because it's that popular.
No doubt. All right, man, I ain't gonna hold you up too much.
I got a question, man. We had a liquor event and stuff like that. Do you remember the first liquor you ever had, and how old were you when you had it?
First of all, let me say that he ain't a for real drinker.
Everybody remember their first drink though. Everybody remember that.
I mean, that for me. I mean, okay, let's put it like this. When I was younger, I shouldn't say this, but when I was younger, my father was a drinker.
Okay.
And I felt that he drank too much.
Yeah.
So this is one of the reasons I'm not a drinker myself. But I felt he drank too much. But one of the things I used to do was to try to prevent him from drinking too much. Is I actually used to go get his stuff and drink it myself. So he thought that he drank it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't just take it and pour it out because you could smell it. So I would actually drink it myself.
Oh man.
And it used to be Seagram's gin.
Oh my God. Yeah. There's somebody there. Yeah.
So before I was 10.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, and I knew that there was some chairs I couldn't sit in the house because if I rocked forward, it was all gonna come up. You know? But for real, when we talk about modern day, I was actually coming back from doing when I was younger. One of the things I did is I modeled for Karl Lagerfeld and the brand Fendi. And so I came back from a big show, and they had a big after event in downtown Detroit, and I was going up there. They had the steak and they had the drink set out, and I was like, I'm not drinking, you know, I'm cool because I'm not a drinker. But then it looked like orange juice. I was like, oh, orange juice, I want that over there.
Right.
And so I went and grabbed it, and before I could think about it, I already drank it. And I was like, ooh, what's that? And I was like, no, man, there's something in there. And I was like, what is it? And then I looked over at the bottle, and the person was like, oh yeah, that's Amaretto di Serrano. And that was the worst thing I could have ever done.
Because Amaretto is so sweet. Like, it'll lull you into thinking that like you ain't drinking alcohol.
Nothing, right? So I didn't feel like I was drinking anything, you know, and that really, and I liked the taste of it. And that's was like, oh, I better keep my distance from that. That was my favorite, to be honest.
Okay. Good memory.
Good memory.
But right now, I mean, you're right though. You know, I do stay clear. I don't drink, man. So it's just not my thing.
No doubt.
But you know, have my times like where I tried to
backslide.
Where I tried to be looser, I guess, you know, because where I grew up, I was always the guy that protected everybody. So I wanted to make sure I was clear in my mind because it was just that unsafe. But during my Detroit's Most Wanted times, you know, me and my Siski, we stacked Crazy Horse in the corner. You know what I mean? Like we used to literally stack them on top of each other. So you know, because it was always a thing, a discussion like, oh, you soft, you know. And I was like, man, this stuff don't mean nothing to me. I mean, you know, because like I said, when I was drinking Seagrams before I was 10.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So like the rest of this, I'm like, man, that just put me in the urinal. It ain't no good for me, you know. Like, and that's it. So that's kind of how it is, man. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the experience and everything, and that's why I'm here today, is to really let people know that you know, if you're gonna be out there, your product, your packaging, everything need to be top notch.
No, for sure.
You know, and I'm able to say that because my package has been one of the top packages for over 20 years.
No doubt.
And I'm able to explain to people that this is what they need to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So
and it's doable.
Yeah, and it's doable. Yeah,
right.
And you want to own your stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to just go out and grab anybody's bottle and slap your label on it and then say, oh, I'm a winemaker or I'm a bourbon maker. And then you put it on the shelf and you're like, oh, you look like everybody else.
Exactly.
You want to have something unique about it.
Yeah.
Every bottle, every brand that you think about that you drink, they got something unique about their bottle.
Yeah, something that drew you to it. Yeah, for sure.
That way you can own your molds and everything, and nobody can knock you, take your design.
No doubt.
Because you own that. Now you trademark that or patent that.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy, dog. Hey, for one though, you gotta get dog. I gotta get you on his show too.
Yeah, man. I mean,
so we got a whole interview.
You know, a whole little what's name right now got me thinking about a whole bunch of questions.
It's a whole story behind it.
Oh man, yeah, let's do it. Whatever. You know, I'm open, and I, love to have people. I'm open, more open than I ever been in my life. That's the other thing.
That's
so used to everything very, very secret and private. But when you've been given such a gift, it's a blessing, man. You got to give it back.
Yeah.
To me now, I feel, I want to be like Little Drummer Boy, man. I just want to tear it up.
Tell the whole world.
Tell everybody the secret. You know what I mean? Let's go. Here's my gift that I was given. Has brought so much richness to my life and people that I know.
For sure.
And so many different industries, whether we talk about automotive, aeronautics, luxury goods. I messed with Prada for a while. Messed with some of the best of them.
Right.
Ferrari, Pininfarina. I done messed with some of the best companies in the world. So,
Exactly.
So I want our people, if we're going to put these products out here, these spirits out here, we need to be on that level. We need to be shining right with them. No matter what your price point is, you need to be competitive and be the best.
No doubt. On that note, man, tell the people your brand, because you got your own shit.
Oh, yeah. Dre Clemens, www.dreclemens.com, man. The whole way to do it. And basically, I've been designing products for so long that I still do consultancy for many different companies and brands. But now I'm also giving the customers what people have been asking from me for years is start to deliver products with my own branding and everything like that, so that people can have that. And I can tell you what you're going to see from me is like, imagine Detroit meets aerospace meets the automotive world and fashion kind of colliding together. Fashion and accessories, things like that.
Everything.
Everything.
For sure.
So it's gonna be that big.
No doubt.
And the reception so far has been good.
No, I already know.
Yeah,
because you in the bag already. You way in the bag. We got a lot of things to talk about. We definitely got to get you on that man show.
Yeah, man.
So we talk about some of the other stuff. There's a lot more shit we can delve into. I know we can't really get a chance to get to it tonight or the other night we did it. So you need like 3 or 4 parts really to get through everything.
Well, that's the hard part for me, is to which project to take, which business or industry I'm gonna be doing some work in.
Right.
Those are the most difficult things. So like, for example, the last couple of years, I really kind of slowed down a little bit and just focused on education and teaching youth both at the University of Michigan and College for Creative Studies.
Okay.
So where I teach 3D design, transportation design to the kids. So they're young adults, but I slowed down a bit.
Well, I'm glad you was able to share those stories with them. I done heard a few of them already. So I'm excited to be able to share those stories. We're going to link you with Shy vs. Everybody podcast as well. We'll exchange all the information in a minute, though. But Dre, thanks again
feel
for
free,
stopping
man.
in.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I appreciate y'all brothers even asked me to sit down.
Man, you think I would? As soon as I saw you, I'm like,
y'all could be talking to my man E40.
We got to talk to you.
You homegrown about that. I talked to him about that. That Yayo song, we had that, Most Wanted. We had that back in the day. And then he did his version. I think ours is dope.
Before we leave, though, how do you feel about the music scene today?
I mean, for me, you gotta.
Do you feel like it's too easy now too? Because there's so much access to social media and stuff like that.
I actually think it's better because when we came out, we didn't have a way to get the music to anybody unless we knew somebody or pay to play. And all this other kind of stuff, and then you use all different kinds of funding, and then you didn't know if the record label was going to treat you right, so all those different things. And I tell people, I didn't really care about recording. I never did. I come up with concepts and stuff, but for me it was always about the live show because I knew I would make my bread at the live show.
That's no doubt.
But today I really like the fact that somebody can have their own platform and it's not governed by anybody. They can go straight to the consumer, and just make sure they protect themselves publishing wise and all of that. But otherwise, you can cut out those people that the stories are endless of people that's been taken advantage of. And I came through during the era when hip hop and rap was new, and people didn't even really consider it a genre yet. And so we got raked over the coals too. And I look at these young cats and I'm like, I'm loving it, because I'm like, go get that bread, go figure it out. You know what I mean? Do what you got to do. I had like 20 jobs.
Everything.
But yeah, I would. So yeah, how I feel about the music today is that it's all about who you checking for. Right. So you need to check. Some of this music that I hear, I think it's over the top, and I think it invades our culture a little bit too much. Whereas during our generation, you had different types of groups, different types of people. That gave you a different vibe and for the mood. So
you're saying she ain't like that now.
I feel like everybody's the same, and I can't really tell.
There's a lot of people that
many one for the other.
You gotta go look for somebody that's different.
Yeah, even like that. When people ask me like who I'm listening to, like you know what I mean. I honestly, I still like Miss Corona. To be honest, that she just so raw to me and just so to the point and to the head. And
she's still rocking out overseas and all kinds of shit.
She's still doing it. That's my girl. I just feel like I go back to her, Pimp Ed days when she was, that's when she used to come to my open mics that I had back when we had the music lab and all that stuff. Her and her crew and come in there and she was cutting her teeth. But to me she was dope.
It's dope. Space. Design.
Hey man, I ain't want nobody to put me in a box. You know what I mean? It's like, how you gonna define me?
It's funny. That's why I was telling my son, don't never limit yourself to one thing. You know what I'm saying? We just had that conversation not too long ago.
Because they tell you to do one thing well. I get that, but you can do multiple things well, right? And I feel that I am fortunate to have had a successful career in design and engineering, as well as a successful career in hip hop, with my two groups. I'm one of the few guys that can say it was part of two legendary groups. So I feel like, that's been a big pleasure
I'm
too.
sorry, I don't know which one. Please say.
Yeah, that's Houdini and Detroit's Most Wanted.
Also, I thought he said that. I thought he said it. I might check out. Like I knew it already. So I thought he said
That's dope.
Yeah, I mean, we was old school, so you had to be, there. Like I said, you had to be at the shows to see me. You had to be present and whatever. I didn't care about recording. Didn't care about videos. You know what I mean. So for me, it was all about the event and the show. You know what I mean. So I got my rock with both my crews forever, and I'm till we die. DMW for life, Houdini for life. You know what I mean. So it is what it is. I love it.
Right.
Yeah. So
you still got a lot more life to live.
I really love these new cats. I just want them to stretch out a little bit more. Quit telling the same story. Stretch it out some. That's what I mean. Like so with Houdini, it's like with Larry Smith and the R&B swagger. It was a whole different vibe than what everybody was getting anyplace else. With Most Wanted, we cracked the earth with the fur coats and the Detroit swagger and really put Detroit on the map. Far as the hip hop scene was concerned. And so I felt like both of them were an extension of me. Like it wasn't like I was just one part. I wasn't just a straight gangster thug. I was educated, but I also like
educated.
You know what I'm saying? I like the R&B swag because that brought the girls. You know what I mean? One group we brought the fellas, the other group brought the girls. So for me, I needed both. Right. You know what I mean? Like but the thing was is that to be part of either one, you had to bring something to the table. You know what I mean? Start at the bottom, pull your ranks so you can feel the fame. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Nah, that's what's up, guys. We gonna get to some people and shit, but definitely gonna link y'all up so we can do a full joint.
Let's go.
Even last time we talked, we still didn't get enough. You know what I'm saying? So it's still a lot left that you got to talk about. So we definitely gonna link that up. So we put that together.
Whatever y'all want to talk about, man, I'm open. I'm enjoying life right now. My kids are grown, so I don't have to worry about the safety of my kids like that.
So now you can move around like you want to move
like I want to move. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So that's a real good thing.
Thanks for sitting down with us, my dog.
Good meeting you, bro.
My oldest son said he got tired of people asking him, about me when he go to the store. So I'm glad that he don't have to deal with that no more.
All right, man. That's Dre Clemens, y'all. All
right.
Hey, we
love y'all, man. Love y'all, man.
My dog.
Looking forward to it.
We still down here live at the Taste of Black Spirits Detroit, man. We still got time. It's going down till 10 p.m. You can pull up on us downtown at the downtown Doubletree downtown. Thank you. Thank you for letting us borrow. Thanks for that behind the scenes footage too. I saw you got that.